All right, in the first alert forecast, here comes again another weird chance for rain. Shouldn't be as intense as what came through here last week, but let's talk about how this rain is going to come together and then try and get as specific as we can on timing and locations. That's where it's coming from, right there. Doesn't look like much, but there is a counterclockwise spin to the clouds on that. Let's look at it a couple of different ways. Usually, you can pick things out much better with water vapor. Now you see it a little better. This is the last 24 hours, so that's where it was yesterday. Now it's kind of drifted back over here where we were just looking at it. And now it's going to wander for the next few days. Let's put it into the futurecast. Instead of looking at the last 24 hours of psychedelic satellite imagery, let's take a look at it in psychedelic futurecast imagery. And what you're going to see is that area show up. Nope, this is the one we want. You're going to see that area show up right there. It's real subtle. It kind of drifts to the south a bit. But then that source of energy comes back and gets drawn right over us. And within that will be the rain. And I think it helps to see it that way to understand why this futurecast looks as weird as it does. Because seemingly out of nowhere, late Tuesday into Wednesday, this batch of rain shows up, just kind of materializes seemingly out of thin air and comes our way and makes it just far enough to give us some rain. Let's get specifics on that. I want to go to the monitor and pull in some of the detail on this. If we take a look at how this system comes together, I brought the futurecast ahead to Tuesday. So we'll play it from there, and you'll see a few showers begin to pop up, most likely as we get into early Wednesday. So that's Wednesday morning. You see us coming up from the south. We'll pick up some showers, most notably for the South Bay on Wednesday at this point in the forecast. These details could change. This is one of those cutoff lows, as we saw. The thing hasn't really even developed yet. So this is the forecast models relying completely just on the math and the physics and the formulas to say that's what it's going to be when it finally does develop. Point is, the timing and location could shift a little, but there's been consistent confidence for at least the last 36 hours now that generally coming into Wednesday, we'll see a few showers arrive in the bay from the south. There is a small chance some of it comes in the form of an isolated thunderstorm. Low odds on that, but it's not zero, so some of this could come that way. And then once we get into the afternoon, some of the showers get thrown far enough north by Tuesday afternoon. Now we're seeing some rain in the North Bay. Again, that could happen earlier or later, not exactly this way, but the general takeaway is most likely Wednesday. We get a chance of showers, and then it's gone. If we put rainfall totals on it right now, you broad brush it in a forecast like this. So generally speaking, it's like 1/10 of an inch of rain. But if you get one of those isolated thunderstorms, your total could be bigger. And those are impossible to predict in terms of location. Only to say that the atmosphere is going to have some of the necessary ingredients. We could see one or two of those develop. All right, that covers that. Very quickly, I've got to show you what's coming our way before the rain gets here. And that everybody's going to feel. You might even notice this a little more. The warm-up. Let's go to the temperatures on here for Tuesday. Monday's almost this hot as Tuesday, but Tuesday's the peak, so I just want you to see those numbers now. Look at the inland East Bay. We've got potential for triple-digit heat coming back. San Jose, your numbers will be in the low 90s. San Francisco, you could be flirting with 80 degrees on Tuesday. Tomorrow is going to be close to those numbers, but not quite as hot, so that warm-up's going to happen fast. Let me show you what it looks like in the 7-day forecast. We'll start out with our inland microclimate first, and you'll see the temperatures take that jump to Monday and Tuesday. I mean, temperatures inland generally today are like mid-80s, so you're going up like 10 degrees tomorrow. You're going to feel this more so than anything else tomorrow. And then Tuesday, it gets hotter. And then when that system comes through with rain, it's totally back down to low 80s. And then we stay there, pretty much staying in the low 80s for daytime highs all the way through the remainder of the 7-day forecast from that point on. And to round out our 7-day forecast, here's what it looks like for the Bay. Chance of showers on Wednesday, and cooler from then on.